Hello everyone, Zyulls here, and today I got something a little different than what I've done if you've seen any of my other uploads. This is actually some post commentary, and this match is already played out in its entirety. So what ended up happening was last night I decided I wanted to play another ranked match and see if I couldn't gain any more LP, given how close I am to gold. And the last two uploads, if you haven't, or yeah, the last upload, if you haven't seen it, we did end up losing a little bit. So I was just so eager to get up to gold again, where I just wanted to get another match in, and we ended up getting the pool where every augment is prismatic. And I sat there for a little bit. I'm like, oh, should I record it? Should I not? And then eventually decided, yeah, I should record it, because with all prismatics, it can get pretty crazy. And if you stick around to the end, it's definitely pretty crazy. So, going through this match, we got the first augment selection here, and right away I know I don't want Pandora's items or Cursed Crown. I did consider Radiant Relics really heavily here, but I ended up opting for the starter kit, which I think is the best choice I've made. We got Poppy very early on, and we're guaranteed to get more Poppies throughout the rest of this match. So we're pretty much guaranteed at least a 2-star Poppy, and then we're given that Annie for a little extra synergy with the emo. And this ended up being so clutch. I think, especially in my elo, I don't know if this is the case in higher elo games, but with where I'm at, Poppy is like never played, and I don't understand why. You'll see here, Poppy, I mean, especially, I don't have any items on her right now, but she gets pretty darn insane. Every time that hammer swings down, she heals. And it really racks up, especially with the emo bonus. It works hand in hand. But going into 2-2 here, I'm looking at the Jinx headliner. I'm thinking, maybe I could go with Punk, but I don't really want to. And we do see here somebody else did end up with Cruel Pact. I personally haven't done very well with Cruel Pact before. It is a bit of a higher risk augment from what I can see. But I almost grabbed the Urgot here and just thinking about getting him in, and I decided, no, I think it is better. Evelyn isn't giving me anything else. Urgot can benefit from that Mosher trait, so opting to go in from there. But yeah, going back to the Cruel Pact, I've had one game where I did get it, and you know, I was doing the strat same as I just don't win here is doing, where you spend all of your gold to get the highest level, get an advantage, and try to snowball it. And just my luck, somebody else got Cruel Pact and was able to 2-star a few more units than I was. But here in 2-3, this is really where the match takes a turning point for me. So we pick up Bard. And yes, Jazz got nerfed a little bit, and Bard got nerfed a little bit with the current patch, but he's definitely still pretty strong if you can get the correct items on him. For anyone that doesn't know, Bard scales and gets more damage with his doots when he does his final doot. So we lucked out and got the Jazz headliner bonus. If it was Dazzler, I probably would have passed on it. I don't think Dazzler is as important, at least for Bard. I definitely prioritize Jazz a little bit more. And so I'm thinking at this point with Bard, maybe I should start considering picking up as many different traits as I can and try to utilize that Jazz bonus. But we're in the first carousel now, and I'm looking at my items here, trying to decide what I want to try to grab here. Yes, there's a spatula, but I'm last pick, so that might as well just not exist to me. And at this point, I'm looking at the bow and I'm thinking, oh, I'd love that, but of course, somebody else is going to grab it before me. And I do end up going for another rod. So we've already got a tier and a rod and a belt on the bench, and we're just doing a little extra scouting to see what other people are running. So at this point, I'm looking at my board state. I've got 100 health. I'm the only one that in the lobby that hasn't lost yet. I don't necessarily need to try to push for anything, but I do go for level 5. Not only do I want to preserve my HP, but I'm really trying to maximize on interest here and make sure I can continue win streaking as long as possible. So here we see somebody going Heart Steel with a little bit of Edgelord. And I don't know if anyone else watching this right now has been playing TFT or you're just consuming videos, but something I've noticed lately is a lot more people are going Yone. I know there's a strat that has been kind of on the rise, revolving around Yone, and I don't think everyone is necessarily playing it correctly from what I've seen, because I've seen a lot of it losing, but then, I mean, you see these higher elo games where with Yone they're winning. But Yone is something that I always, or at least right now, I try to steer clear of unless I know it's completely uncontested. But here at 2-6 we do get our extra poppy in the shop. That was not the free one that we're guaranteed. So we've pretty much solidified, yes, we are going to get another poppy, or a 2-star poppy, I should say. But right now I'm just trying to pick up the units that will help me 2-star, fill my board out a little bit more, and I think this might be where my first loss was. Yeah. Is that Dreadsteed just jumps right onto Bard, and right now he's not equipped to handle it, so I probably could have avoided that loss if I... Something I'm not sure on yet is how people are able to predict exactly who they're going up against, because I know on that right-hand side you can kind of see the swords and tell who is gonna be your next opponent, who might be, but I don't know if there's a method to differentiate exactly who. But this person that's playing the Akali, you'll see she appears up quite a bit, and I don't know if that's a good thing or they're just like curious as to what I'm doing, but I just found it a little funny. But here from Krugs, we are just getting a ton of gold from them. And seeing a glove drop from them is not exactly what I was hoping for. I did want a bow or the cloak, because I really like putting the Dragon's Claw and Bramble Vest on my tanks. I usually find that to be a pretty good, consistent strategy. But we do get our free Poppy here. So now we're sitting at 2-star Poppy at 3-1, which is pretty darn good. Definitely a lot earlier than most, thanks to our starter kit. As we head into 3-1, this is the first time that we face against the Cruel Pact player, so I was looking at this board like, okay, well, this is going to definitely be a loss, but if we were able to win, we could just eliminate somebody right off the bat. And there was a little bit of hope. I think there was a chance that I did win if Bard was able to take out that Mordekaiser there. His Poppy would have been a little bit more healthy, while the backline would have been damaged more, and mainly that Karthus in particular probably would have gone down. So that is a little unfortunate, but here with the second augment, I'm looking at hologram, and I really want to take that. Binary airdrop I didn't want. Cybernetic bulk I was looking at a lot too, and honestly all these options are good. But I ended up going with Harmacist 3 because I knew that was a little bit safer. Guaranteed Omnivamp on all my units. Ideally though, looking back on it, I definitely should have re-rolled that that third augment instead of just taking Harm Assist, but at the time I'm just like, no, I want the guaranteed heal. I think that is a little bit more important to hold my lead here. So right here I'm looking at Poppy, trying to think about my items and how best way I can utilize them. I did think about putting Guard Breaker on Bard right here, because a lot of these lobbies are using units that get shields, and the faster I could take them out, the better. But I did want to hold out until at least Wolves, I was thinking. That way, I mean, in case I get other items that I want to make, like Steadfast Heart, or at this point I was willing to commit completely to Bard, but I was also open to the idea of having more show up. So right here we're just trying to level with keeping our highest interest. For now I'm putting Jackson, but we are looking at the current shop and traits that were missing, seeing what I could put in to utilize my Jazz talent more effectively, and I end up going with the Cassante. It's a good strong unit, and we get the Sentinel bonus. I didn't think I needed Yasuo for more damage with true damage, because with true damage what you want to do is put items on the units so that they can get the most out of their true damage trait or origin, whichever one it is. I mess it up all the time. And you know, I'm looking at my board, I'm like, I got Annie and Bard in the back, and Poppy is dishing out, you know, a fair bit with her sustaining so long, so I don't think I need any more damage. So I did opt for the Sentinel bonus, given that extra armor and magic resist. And going into the second carousel, again, there's another spatula, but I know I'm not going to get that. And I didn't notice it at the time, but that Yasuo took the augment that makes your little legend move super fast. So I think that did end up helping him steal somebody's item in the late game, but we were fighting a Kali for the bow, and we did get the bow. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, and honestly I don't know what I would have done if I didn't, but for a while there it really looked like I wasn't going to get it, but we do get our bow, so we were able to get a Rage Blade on Bard. I'm not sure if that is the most optimal. Shojin is probably better on him, looking back in hindsight, or even trying to get like a blue buff. Blue buff is actually probably really good on Bard, now that I think about it. But figure anything that I can help him attack to build up that mana better, and I can't exactly just sit on my items too long or I'll start losing. And if there's anything that I've learned throughout this journey of getting back into ranked gameplay is you gotta preserve your health as much as possible. But we do see we get a Bard tip, which is pretty nice. That's something that I usually forget about Bard, where there's always a small chance that you get a little tip when Bard does his thing, so that is very welcomed. And here I'm pretty happy to see we get another Bard here, and I do have some extra gold, and we pick up the Lux to potentially slot in Dazzler with our next unit. At this point, still haven't really decided what my final board is going to look like. Entertaining the idea of maybe we push for 9 as soon as we can. try and get a headliner Lucian. But given that we got Bard so early on, I really did want to see if I could just keep him as long as I can. And I just realized now, watching this back, that this opponent here that I'm going up against also got Cruel Pact. Just curious, because they did not drain themselves as much as the Dragon Mancer Yasuo did. And I think that's for the better, because they seem to be doing a lot better than them. But here we got a Lux 2 sitting on our bench. I'm like looking at my board thinking, I really want to get to level 7, but it's wolves, it's not really needed. I can definitely wait. We'll just sit on the 50 gold, and we'll slot in our Lux or a Mumu for the next round. And from wolves, we end up getting a tear, a glove, and a rod with a magnetic remover. And so right now I'm looking at the 2 threshes on the board, really considering maybe I should slot in a Mumu and thresh, get some guardian action. But also looking at the items here, I did think about giving Bard a jeweled gauntlet. I'm pretty sure I ended up deciding against that though. And here we got Lux going in, and we've got 2 more Bards in the shop. So I'll sell the Kaisa, pick up the Bard, and right now I'm just rolling to see if I can hit any more of these better units. So I end up going with a Hand of Justice on Bard. I figure the extra attack power and Omnivamp is really what I'm wanting for him, because there are some of these matches where, or I guess these rounds, where Bard is getting jumped on, and I need him to be as alive as possible. And with proof here, we do beat out the Cruel Pact, or at least one of the Cruel Pacts. So, feeling very comfortable. And just checking on our Doot stack, we got 3 so far. Going into this last augment, I'm looking at all of these, and I'm not really excited given my current build. I think at this point I was thinking about doing Hedge Fund, but I'm like, no, I'm doing pretty good on gold. I don't think I need to. And this is the first time I'm seeing the golden egg. So we roll, get the Ornn item for it, or the forge for Ornn items, but I'm really happy with the items that I currently have, so I don't want to take that, and I do end up opting for that egg. So we'll sell that Mordekaiser. Probably should have sold the Vi. Kept the Mordekaiser because we could use a Sentinel trait. But here I'm just rolling to see if I can star any of my units before I move on. I don't want to pass up on the Bard 3, and we do hit Bard 3. Just not in this combat, so it was comforting knowing that we had it now. And if I was able to beat the current lobby with Bard 2, then I would be really, really comfortable with Bard 3. And right here, you can just see Poppy squaring up with that Amumu, and I mean, Poppy is basically on death's door with no items, and is able to just stay alive. Granted, Poppy does have that Sentinel bonus with her right now, so that is helping. But here we get Blitzcrank instead of Cassante, so we'll take that. We're probably not going to see any more Cassante. So I opt for the Blitzcrank, because I'm much more likely to get a 2-star of that with the smaller pool of 4-cost units, given that I've already got 4 Poppies here. I know other people are running Karthus, and that Thresh player, or country player utilizing Thresh. So we opt for that, and going into this round, I think this is also another win. If I remember right, we win streak here for a little bit. And I did find it a little funny how I got the bug where that portal just stays there forever. I've seen that happen a few other times. I'm not really sure why it happens. But looking at this carousel, I was eyeing up that cane, but I didn't really know what I would want to do with the sword. But cane would give two bonus traits, which would buff Jazz. So we didn't end up getting it. I'm not entirely, or I wasn't entirely surprised. And we do end up going for the cloth here. I thought about getting the Karthus just to deny the person, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with another glove. So we end up 2-starring our Echo and looking at this Amumu, thinking, oh yeah, we should probably grab it. Something I was grabbing the Amumus because I wasn't sure if I would see more Vex, and I mean, granted, I did a lot less scouting this match than when I normally do, but I was surprised that I wasn't seeing any Vex. And it took me quite a while to realize that there were other players grabbing them. So we ended up just throwing them on the board. This was a match where I was really, or like a round where I was really concerned about losing actually, because EDM units were sticking around a little bit too long, and with Lux, her ability can crit that jeweled gauntlet, but we did luck out. I think if we got unlucky with some of the crits there, that would have been a different story. But here, just leveling up as much as I can. We've got 5 down left on our golden egg, and I really didn't know what this was gonna give us. I've never seen this augment. I've never seen anyone grab this augment. But right now I'm looking at the shop, looking at my bench, what I can slot in, and at this point I'm leaning towards putting in Lulu. Because throwing Lulu in, guaranteed hyper pop. We could always find a Ziggs later to get some hyper pop too. The bonus of running Bard is you get to hear that sick saxophone solo. But we do take our first loss in a while. Yeah, I think out of all the units in set 10, I think Bard and Jhin are my favorite, just because of how they affect the music. My favorite trait to play, or origin, is definitely EDM. Still haven't figured that out yet, but it's so fun. But we got our Lulu in now, so we do get the hyper pop jams, which are just insanely catchy. But looking at our item anvil, trying to see what I can make here. Right now I'm thinking about items for my tanks, because I want them alive as much as possible. And I do see we can grab the vest and get a steadfast heart onto our Poppy. Then we also slam a Warmogs to try and keep her as healthy as possible. And at this point, I noticed, oh, I wasn't the only one that was offered the golden egg, but I do believe we are further along on our egg than the other player here. We were on quite a long win streak, and we did. I mean, this round wasn't even close. Most of my board is still alive. So right now, I'm just throwing my golden levels. Probably could have tried to get Annie 3 here, or could have afforded to get Annie 3 earlier, but didn't really see a need. We're very healthy if you look at the rest of the lobby. I'm at 63, and the closest HP value to me is 22, and there's only one player that's on fire, that being the Cruel Pact player, which is a little unfortunate because every time they win, they heal. But we see dude end up losing here. But at this point, I wasn't too worried about it because I was pretty sure that somebody else in the lobby was able to beat that player. So I was kind of relying on someone else solving my problem for me. But we do get our cash out here. And to my surprise, it is 2 Tactician's Crowns and a Thieves' Gloves. So I opt to go all the way to level 9 and just throw in as many units as I can, just to try and overwhelm the board, the other player. And it was all happening so fast that I didn't realize until this moment right here that putting a Mumu in is fine. He benefits from emo, but it doesn't give me another tier of emo. So I need to look out for something else that I can utilize. They did put Aphelios and Caitlyn in, because I saw it was synergy for Rapid Fire, which is another trait that buffs Jazz. Here we get the signal that we are in the top 4, so I'm guaranteed to gain some LP. And looking at this carousel, I really want that Sona, and I really thought that other player was gonna get it. I wasn't sure what I was gonna grab, because looking at the rest of the items, they don't exactly help my carries. I guess Lux is doing her thing, but so we do swap out a Mumu for Sona, and we do end up opting for the heal and shield. I think the attack speed might be the strongest right now with the current patch, but again, my thought process is I want to make sure my units stay healthy. If Poppy is usually making it towards the end of these rounds, so I mean, at that point she's probably lost a lot of her HP, so Sona can help out there. It just would have been better if I was able to get a mana item on Sona. But here we are playing against the Cruel Pact players board, and we do actually end up winning now, because our Bard is able to sustain himself against the Dreadsteed Hecarim. And yeah, after seeing it, I beat that team. I felt really good, but then so did the other guy. So now it's just me and the one board that I was worried about the most. So like, I have to roll all my gold. This is it essentially. We do find Ziggs for that Hyper Pop 2. And in hindsight, I think I probably could have positioned Poppy closer to Ziggs, or like Ziggs a little bit, or up one more tile. I know that would put him more in danger, but we want the Hyper Pop bonuses going to the units that it really would benefit the most. And right now, with where Ziggs is, he's giving that to Annie and Lux, which isn't a bad thing. We got Lulu next to Bard, which is the important one, but with the way things are right now, we are winning. And I say that as right now because this is a little bit of a close match. So we sell the Kennen, we find another Sona. Pretty happy with that. Just curious on how improved my Bard's improv is, and we did get up to 7, which I think is the highest I've gotten. So, like, the highest I've gotten this set. But here with Dragon, I'm really hoping to see some sort of mana item that I can give to Sona to make sure that we hit our healing. But we end up finding another Ziggs and another Lulu, which really pleased me. I can tell you right now, I rolled over the Lulu just out of like panic because I'm like, I have to find something to either like 2-star Ziggs or 2-star Sona or 2-star Yorick. But we end up getting Infinity Edge, which is not super ideal. It wasn't what I was hoping for, but thankfully we got a Lucian in our shop, so we do have somebody that can utilize it and give us Jazz 3. So here, I mean, coming off of the last round, I was almost certain that this would be a similar story and it would just be a stomp. But that's not the case, and we do struggle a little bit here. Akali was just able to do too much to our backline, and at this point I'm like thinking, oh shoot, there's no way that I miss out on first here. So here we're really rolling down. We find another Yorick, which is very exciting. Find another Lucian, very exciting, and I end up sacrificing Lux, hoping to just try and 2-star any of these units, because I mean, really, what are the chances? And right here, it's just taunting me. There's a Ziggs right there, and I can't grab it because I wasn't able to sell one of the other units in time. And I do end up looking at this right now. I'm thinking, oh, maybe there's a chance, but unfortunately, Akali is just able to do too much damage to Bard, and Bard wasn't able to get focused onto the backline at any point. So we do go down, and I was so confident that I was going to win that round that I didn't even lock my shop. So we missed out completely on that Ziggs, and there's a 2-star Lucian. When I'm looking at Lucian, I'm like, I don't think Lucian is the key here. Yes, it would be 2-star, and yes, he would be a lot stronger, but I would really love to pick up this Kayn, because I can swap out Lux. Dazzler isn't that big of a deal, and Kayn will give me wildcard. Kayn will give me wildcard, and I was really thinking that would be a bit better. Kayn did get a buff in the last patch, so he's not completely dead weight. I've played a few games where I've ran Kayn, and it just felt really bad. I'm like, why is this guy a 5 cost? He feels like he should be a 2. And we do pick up our second win on the channel. Something I was very surprised about. I didn't expect it, but we really lucked out with the starter kit, with the Poppy, and with the Bard. Bard headliner very early on. That was very good. So just sticking around to see how much LP we gained, and to my surprise, we were promoted to silver 1. So gold is just right around the corner. And just backing out, see our LP, and to my surprise, we got 1. So we are on the brink. I think if we lose, we just end up with 0 L, or yeah, we go down to 0 LP. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.